What's up, brothers? If things aren't going exactly the way you think they should be going in your relationship, it's time to grow a set of nuts and dump that bitch. As a matter of fact, you should be dumping women early and often. It's a power move. Hell, dumping that bitch was the best decision I ever made. Now, it's no secret that 40% of young men between the ages of 18 and 30 are involuntarily celibate. Now, I know some guys out there, they'll tell you there's no such thing as involuntarily celibate. They'll tell you, you give me $200 and I'll get you some pussy. But I don't necessarily agree with that. Now, $200 will get you herpes and HIV, and that's just not a fair trade-off. That's a bad deal. Because we all know those escorts are carrying a lot of STDs. So all you guys out there telling these young men to spend money to lose their virginities, you're not doing them a good service. That's a fact. Now, my theory on the reason why these young men are involuntarily celibate is simple. They're putting the pussy on a pedestal. You see, young men are either one of two things. They're either a beggar or a pleaser. Now, the beggars are the ones that aren't getting the pussy, and the pleasers are the ones that are getting the pussy. But both said groups are making a big mistake. You know? Both of them are putting the pussy on a pedestal. A man who knows his value has no reason to put the pussy on a pedestal. When a man knows his value, his endocrine system signals his testicles to produce more testosterone. And he radiates pheromones. And those pheromones are bad motherfucker and big dick energy. That's a fact. And if you're radiating bad motherfucker and big dick energy, you can pump and dump any woman you want to. Now, that's also a fact. Excuse me, the sun's bothering my eyes. Now, when you're able to pump and dump at a high frequency, it puts you in a position of power. You're able to make more demands. So you need to learn how to dump them at an early age. It's crucial to your development. Now, we're all men here, and we all love to pump them, but it takes a real man to dump them. Now, back in my early 20s, I used to be a lover boy. I wasn't exactly a beggar, but I was a pleaser, that's for sure. And when you spend too much time trying to please someone else, you sacrifice your own well-being. You know, some guys say fat chicks are like mopeds. They're fun to ride until your friends see you on one. Well, I say hot chicks are like motorcycles. They're fun to ride. They're even fun to show off in front of your friends. But after a few years, when it starts to give you problems, it's time to upgrade to a newer model. Can I get an amen? Now, speaking of motorcycles, I want you to picture this. Imagine you're selling your motorcycle, and your motorcycle's worth $10,000. So, you post it for sale, $10,000. And some pesky little weasel comes along and offers you $6,000. Well, do you tuck your tiny little pecker between your legs and accept the deal? Or do you put your big gargantuan-sized nuts on the table and tell him to fuck off? I'll tell you what, you tell him to fuck off and you're killing two birds with one stone. It's a win-win. One, because you get that pesky little weasel out of your face. And number two, you keep the availability open for a buyer that's willing to pay $10,000 because you know your value. Now, women are a lot similar to that story. You know what you want out of a woman. If you're not getting what you want out of a woman, you need to put your big gargantuan-sized nuts on the table and tell her to fuck off. It's as simple as that. You know, I used to be a lover boy. I'll admit in my early 20s I was a lover boy. Like I said, I wasn't a beggar, but I was a pleaser. Don't be a pleaser. Now, a lot of men sacrifice their own happiness just to please and satisfy their woman, because they have this illness in their head. They believe that she's the only woman out there for them. She's a one of a kind. Well, I got news for you. They're all the goddamn same. As a matter of fact, you can find a better one than her. And most women nowadays, they don't even have the prerequisites that a woman should have. You know, is she loyal? Is she feminine? Is she submissive? Is she obedient? And like I said, these aren't things that we should be applauding or that we should be grateful for. Those are just expectations. That's what you expect out of a woman. You know, if she wants to be better than the rest of them, she's got to have additional features. Like my top 4. Does she look good? Does she cook good? Does she fuck good? And does she suck good? Other than that, does she leave me alone when I'm watching the game? You know, does she give me shit when I have the boys over to have a couple of beers and watch the Super Bowl? That's all I ask for. And if these aren't the qualities that she offers, well, I've got to dump that bitch. And that's just the way it goes, guys. You got to know your worth. That's what going your own way is all about. And speaking of going your own way, guys, it's time for me to change my oil. I'm going to finish this cup of coffee. I'm going to go grab a couple sets of bench press. And I'm going to find me a fine young lady to pump and dump. Hell, I'll be pumping and humping all summer long. Pumping and humping are my 2 favorite activities. It's the best part about going your own way. And I've been noticing a lot of content creators out there that seem to have this misconception about going your own way. You know, they think we're running and hiding from women. No. That has nothing to do with it. As a matter of fact, we're pumping and dumping more women than your favorite dating coach. Truth of the matter is, we just know our worth. We're not willing to sacrifice just to be pleasers, just to keep a woman around. Because we're not beta males. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, share it with your friends. Like I said, I've got to change my oil, maybe rotate my tires, find a fine young lady to crank my shaft. Hell, if she wets my dipstick and secures my lug nuts, I might even clean out her tailpipe. I'll have her leaking fluids all over the place.
Subscribe to the channel.
We'll burn through a few rubbers. The big ones. Now, as long as she can drive a stick, we'll be on an all-night road trip. Unless she blows my head gasket and has fluids mixing up all over the place. Thank God for that plan B. Hey, you gearheads will know what I'm talking about. That's it for today, fellas. LFA, signing out.